Hey Aquarius, this is your new moon forecast for August, but first I have a couple of announcements that I want to get through really quickly. I'll have all of this time stamped. The first thing I want to say is welcome, wow, and thank y'all so much to the over 300 subscribers that have found this channel in the last month. My heart is so full of gratitude. Thank y'all so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope y'all stick around and enjoy learning about the stars and how they're playing out in your world. I do private readings, but I'm not doing them currently. I'll put a video out when I start doing them again. The second thing I want to mention is that I'm going to have some links to videos I've done previously down below. I have a link to the June new moon, a link to the July new moon, and a 1 degree Sagittarius full moon vlog that speaks at length about a fixed star called Antares that will be playing out pretty predominantly for us mid-month. The last thing that I want to bring forth or acknowledge is that I'm issuing an Astro Nerd alert. I'm sorry, my face is itching. The next video series that I'm going to be releasing is for a full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees Aquarius, which is in your sign. So this is very important, and you'll be noticing a lot of culminations coming around. And it'll be very powerful for you because it's an eclipse in your sign. We'll also be dealing with a solar eclipse in September that will be squaring Saturn, which highlights fear and guilt not only for the collective, but for us each personally in different areas of our chart. I'll bring that up for us when it gets closer to that. But for right now, Aquarius, hang tight. I'm going to bring forth Aquarius Sun and Rising Astrology, and then we'll transition to the Tarot. Be right back, y'all. Thanks again. Hang tight. Hey Aquarius, I'm back with your 11 or almost 11 degree new moon for Leo forecast. It's 10 degrees 57 minutes to be exact. It'll be occurring on August the 2nd, and for you it will be happening in your 7th house. The sun, the moon, and the planet Venus will all be in your 7th house. The sun represents your self-expression, your assertion, and your will. The moon represents your intuition and response. The planet Venus represents beauty, love, and harmony. Your 7th house speaks to partnerships, identification with others, how you identify with others, counseling, and open enemies. Open enemies could be speaking to testifying against someone in open court or arguing with someone online is how I'm starting to see open enemy stuff. There will be an easy flow of energy from Saturn, or from the sun to Saturn in your 11th house. Saturn is the planet of limitation, structure, and containment, and the 11th house speaks to future wishes, goals, and dreams, bucket list type energy. Also friends and groups that you have or that you are a member of or associate with, like that you have membership with. There will be a stressful obstacle that's presented from Saturn in your 11th house to Neptune in your 2nd house. Neptune represents nebulousness, illusion, imagination, also addiction, or boundaries and borders. The 2nd house speaks to money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. So there will be a stressful square between your 11th and your 2nd house dealing with dreams and goals and money. So heads up. You'll also be dealing with Mercury and Jupiter in your 8th house. Mercury is the planet of communication, thought, and movement. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, excess, and achievement. The 8th house speaks to other people's money, regeneration, sexuality, life, death, and rebirth. You will also have the planet Uranus that is going station retrograde today on the 29th of July in your 3rd house. Pardon me. Uranus is the planet of change, liberation, and rebellion. It's also known as the planet of shocks and surprises. It rules electricity. So be careful with your electronic communication devices because the 3rd house speaks to communication, short distance journeys, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. You will also be dealing with a long transit of Pluto in the 12th house. Pluto is the planet that represents deep renewal and transformation. The 12th house is the house of limitation, repression, karma, self-undoing, and secret enemies. On the 3rd, we will have Mars, the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, moving into your 11th house, which once again speaks to friendship, goals, dreams, bucket list type energy. So that's there's a lot of energy going on in your 11th house, dealing with the friends and groups that you associate with. On the 6th, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, moving into your 8th house, which is got Jupiter and Mercury already there. The 8th house, once again, speaks to life, death, rebirth, sexuality, regeneration, and other people's money. So you could be dealing with your partner possibly getting a raise or some sort of bonus in, or you may just be seeing a boon of other people's money in some way coming to you. That can be dealing with scholarships. Your spouse or partner's income could deal with scholarships, insurance payments, tax returns, anything that wouldn't be money that you've earned per se. On the 12th through the 17th, we have the Jupiter-Chiron opposition. Jupiter is in your 8th house. Chiron is in your 2nd house. Chiron is the Centaur asteroid that represents where you have been wounded and are in need of deep healing. Jupiter is in your 8th house, which is life, death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money. The 2nd house deals with money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. So that's a pretty important opposition that's going on for you. So pay attention, Aquarius. Also on the 13th, we have Saturn going station direct at 9 degrees Sagittarius in your 11th house. And this is going to be on top of that fixed star Antares that I spoke about, and that I'll have a vlog linked below speaking more about at length. The 11th house is the friends and groups, life goals, dreams, wishes, energy, bucket list type things going on the 13th. One last thing I want to highlight again for you, on the 18th there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in your 1st house, Aquarius. So with all of that information, I'm going to transition over to the tarot portion and see what Spirit can bring forth for us. Once again, thank you so much, and hang tight, y'all. Hey Aquarius, I'm back with the tarot cards. I've been shuffling and meditating over them, asking Spirit to bring forth the messages for my Aquarius friends for this new moon in August. Going to cut. The bottom card for the underlying theme or the overarching energy, however you choose to see it, and the top 3 for clarity. Also going to pull a oracle card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison. It's my favorite oracle deck. It speaks to the rebel in me, and I have Uranus natally in my 1st house, and I also am an Aries sun, so I have a Uranus transit going on. I'm a little rebellious by nature, but I'm a rebel with a cause. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and flip. Okay. It makes sense. Alright. My hair's acting crazy back here, sorry. Okay. Let me write the numbers really quick. Okay, the underlying card you got was the Moon in Reverse. The Moon in Reverse is the 18th card of the Major Arcana. 1 + 8 is 9. The 9th house speaks to long-distance trips, adventures or questing, religion, philosophy, higher education, legal system matters. Could be astrology. I think that this is you in response to what is happening or occurring for you in your world before this full moon lunar eclipse. It's going to be occurring for you in your first house, but it could be dealing with issues or resonating around ninth house energies. The moon as a tarot card, some people correlate it to Pisces. I think of Cancer as well because of this crab right here. Let me hold them up right. But the ninth house, see how, for me this is supposed to be a bridge, and you can't see the border of where you can walk across safely or not. So it could be an issue of borders being watery or nebulous for you, or people around you. People may be impeding on your boundaries. Whenever I see the moon card, it makes me think to follow your instincts or follow your gut, but in the reverse, it may be that you have gotten some sort of message or epiphany somehow and have decided to not take the guidance that came with it, and you are probably regretting that now. You aren't having any direct ninth house energy, but I think that this also could speak to Saturn going station direct at 9 degrees Sagittarius because of the reduction to 9 for this card. It could be the trigger point that starts the build up for the full moon lunar eclipse, because full moons are always emotional for us. People in the emergency services say that they know when it's a full moon, even if they don't pay attention to it, because of how people act. The first card you got in the top 3 for clarity is the Nine of Swords. The 9, once again, represents ninth house energy, religion, philosophy, legal system matters, the higher education, adventures or questing, long distance trips. This is also an insomnia card for me, or not being able to sleep, which could definitely be speaking to Pluto in your 12th house, having a hard time sleeping. The swords themselves represent air sign energy for me. Air sign energies is Gemini, Libra, or you, Aquarius. So the background majority of the card is black, which makes me think it's always darkest before dawn. There's some serious transformation going on in that 12th house of yours, and it's a dark house. It's the house of limitation, repression, karma, secret enemies, self-undoing. Can also be the house of secrets that you keep from yourself or dreams. So this could definitely be speaking to that Pluto transit that's going on for you. Sorry if you heard my dryer buzz. It's laundry day. But yeah, this is you up all night worrying about something. And I'm going to say I think it's money. The reason I think it's money is because the Queen of Pentacles is here. The Queen of Pentacles is a queen of prosperity, and she needs her resources around her for her stability and her balance. The Pentacles for me represents resources. Resources are anything that you can spend on another living thing or a situation. So that could be money, energy, time, just what you have at your disposal. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It does not have to be their sun sign. It could be their moon or their rising. You will not know that unless you know their chart. That also goes for the Pisces or Cancer situation if it's the zodiac sign and not the actual meaning of the tarot card that is associated, because there's many different layers. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion for these messages. So this Queen of Pentacles for me is speaking about the second house energy that you have with Neptune. You could be feeling like water. Yes. Water is important. Neptune represents water. You may need water, but you may also be dealing with money feeling like it's flowing out of your hands like water. And I say that because it fell, or it's laying down in front of me like this. The swords are all pointing towards this Queen of Pentacles. So if you aren't the Queen of Pentacles, then you're dealing with Queen of Pentacles energy, very focused on what she wants, what she needs, and wants only the best, wants the good things, wants luxury around her. The third card you got was the Lovers in reverse. So this Queen of Pentacles could be your love partner, or you could be dealing with having met someone that you find very, very appealing, but you are in a relationship with someone and you share resources and you don't know how it's going to work out. The Lovers is the 6th card in the Major Arcana. The 6th card speaks to the 6th house, which is work and health, or skills and competency that you bring to the services that you provide. Many people think or say that the Gemini card, or the Freudian slip, that the Lovers represents the Gemini sign. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, which is an air sign, which would speak to the Swords energy again. You could be having like a mental connection with someone and you know it'll never work, and that's why the moon is in reverse. And the Lovers are in reverse. You see this connection, but you know it'll never work. Look as well, the sun and the moon are both on the downside. It's like Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me is going through my head right now. Is it Elton John that sings that song? I'm sorry. Not exactly my genre, but that's what I was thinking of. I actually heard that song in the back of my head. So it could be that you're coming to the realization that the relationship that you're in that shares resources is either based on something you no longer resonate with, or you feel like they want you for your money. You could be having a very mental connection with someone, maybe a friend from work, and that's keeping you up at night. That's what I'm seeing with the Tarot portion. You got the 9 of Swords and the 6 for the Lovers and 18 for the Moon. That totals to 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. The 6th house speaks to work and health, the skills and competency that you bring to the services that you provide. So this could be dealing with a work situation. If it's not somebody that you've met and have a mental connection with, then you could be presented with a new offer, a promotion, a better job, and you don't know how you can take it, where you can take it. This could be somewhere else that you don't know how you're going to be able to afford that move, and startup costs would be another thing that I'm seeing. The Oracle card that you got is the Sacred Fool. And for me, the first thing I see is this puppet right here. It's a reminder for me when I grab this card for my personal readings. It's don't let anyone be the master of you as the puppet. Understand if your strings are being pulled by someone. 4 plus 0 is 4, and that speaks to the 4th house, which could be home and family. So you could very much be having your strings pulled by someone in your home and family sector that is keeping you up late at night. The Sacred Fool understands that she has to march to the beat of her own drum, and also understands that not everyone can hear that beat. So she may look crazy to some, but she's completely content in her own revelry, in her own little world, in her own little corner, in her own little world, to borrow from Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Yes, that's a way throwback. Her focus is intent on this project as well. So it's another message to keep your eyes on the prize and maintain control of yourself so no one else can control you. Let's see what the book says. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things, and it cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heralds a time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, or passionate for what you can offer the world. It says to you, do not try to be appropriate and do not try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you are doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat while doing it, then fine. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely, and it would never occur to you pardon me. It would never occur to this part of you to try to outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, we are caged into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, or apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first, and that is okay. That's good, actually. It's a sign that you're breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It's a time to move beyond them, because now a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you may become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the randomness of life, apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this, and without having to understand any of it, which is good, trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. If you find yourself making choices that have others questioning your sanity, then you're on the right course. You may feel that you are quite possibly going insane, but you are not crazy. You are just approaching the enlightened awareness. There is a moment, sometimes a rather long one, when we wake up to life, shed our attachment to mass opinion, and float in a completely different state of being. Stay with that. You will eventually see that you're becoming sane in an insane world. The tables will turn and you will gain great inner freedom and creative juices. Stay on your path, stay on the journey, and remember to take nothing too seriously, and that it will all work out perfectly and in perfect timing. I love that. Aquarius, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If it was enlightening or empowering for you, please like, share, and subscribe this video so other people can share with the messages. Thank you so much for being here. My heart is so full. It's so full of gratitude, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you liked it. I'll be around for the full moon series. You will be having a full moon in your sign just coming up in a few weeks. You can probably already start to feel the pressure building. Embrace the sacred fool in you. Embrace the sacred rebel in you, Aquarius. Speak your truth in love and understand not everyone's going to understand where you're coming from. The only thing you can do is control your intent and your execution. Everything else is subjective. So with that, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves and to one another, and I'll see y'all for the full moon. Namaste.